One of the recent club discussions went into crosswind landing technique, and one of the points brought up was how does the span of a glider affect the extent to which you can slip on landing, or to what extent you should be slipping or crabbing. And so for this discussion, I took the biggest span glider we have in Condor, which is an EB29. I dialed in the wind to max, so it's set to 27 knots, although that's going to give us about 17 knots at the surface, and it's an absolutely direct crosswind. So let's see how this plays out. So, having practiced this a little bit, what I found is you can get quite a bit of the crosswind correction just with fairly minimal bank and a lot of rudder. So now we're going to land on the pavement, and the reason we're going to land on the pavement is to really get a sense as to the direction the glider is going. So I got the rudder almost all the way in. I have just a little bit of bank. I'm almost bottomed out on the rudder. So right now I'm almost full. The wind is pretty strong, so I have a little bit of just a little bit of a crab. But my rudder is almost, and right about now it's almost there, and it's bottomed out, and there I'm going to pause there. So right at touchdown. So let's take a look at the controls here. My rudder is pretty much against the stop. My elevator is all the way up, and my bank is pretty minimal. And yet I was able to go and use, really get quite a bit of the crosswind corrected for. I still ended up landing with maybe a 2 or 3 degree crab, just because I was starting to run out of control authority. But nonetheless, it was the landing was pretty straight. And so let's finish out the landing roll. Get the wheel brake on. And here's a taxi on over. And what I really wanted to show here is that yes, there is a point when you're going to start running out of controls, or you're going to, the slip is not going to be enough, and you'll have to even put in a little bit of a crab. But it takes quite a bit for that to happen, and you can get most of the effect, the crossing correction, using the rudder and a minimal amount of bank. And that basically, to a large degree, at least, my technique is to, use the rudder to line it up with the runway, and then at that point put in a couple degrees of down on the upwind wing to keep it there.